adventures on the gridiron, and we all know anything can happen when you kick off after dark. And the Hawkeyes will kick it away first. He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. The Minutemen offense takes the field, and they'll go to work first. Let's take a quick second to call out some of the impact players their coaches mentioned in meetings this week. Anything you guys heard that really resonated with you?
Yeah, I love when coaches talk about guys that bring it every single day. Like, that we can depend on them. They can get other guys lined up. They're always motivated. They're always being a great teammate. These are the guys that coaches love.
And big-time players make big plays in big games, right? These are the guys that have to play well if they're going to win games like this. It'll be interesting to see what they do today.
This crowd, full throat, splitting the eardrums and letting them know it's going to be a long day. Working the middle, it's complete. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
These Hawkeye fans know exactly what to do to get behind this D on third down. Off play action. Rushes on him. Pressure's there, and he gets rid of it. And it's incomplete on third down.
Third and short like that on your own side of the field, you're just looking for a quick hitter. You're trying to get the ball out of your hand quickly, but the timing completely off there for the offense, and the ball falls in.
Umass will line up to punt it away. First time we've seen their punt team tonight. Now on the return. And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. So the Iowa Hawkeyes offense will go to work for the first time. And Jesse, they've got a running back that they'd love to feature in this if he is able to answer the challenge.
Yeah, and listen, this guy might not be a Heisman finalist, but he can break off long runs. And this defense, David, they better be ready. They better pack a lunch, show up today, and try to get hats to the football. Because if you come out here with your B game, he can run all over.
And it's important for this offense, too, because they need to have balance on offense. They need the ground game to get going. He's capable. He's shown flashes. We just want to see it consistently.
From the 47-yard line on 1st and 10. To the air on first down. Makes the grab. Lowers that shoulder, delivers the blow. Really confident throw and catch there. Big pickup, and they have a first down. Good job by the receiver there not to run into coverage, but to find a spot that the quarterback can throw him the ball.
Yeah, on those types of routes, Reese, they say if you're looking, you're booking. So if that's man coverage, the receiver's staring at the quarterback all the way across the field. That time, the receiver didn't give the quarterback his eyes, so they were on the same page. They both knew it was zone, and they executed that perfectly.
Defenses want to get aggressive. You got to keep them balanced. You got to keep them thinking about something. Just keep that little nugget in their head like, listen, we will run the misdirection, mess with their eyes a little bit just to keep them honest.
The Hawkeyes can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. The play action fake. Finds his big tight end. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down.
Well, it's a nice job, too, of the quarterback after the play fake there, getting his eyes down the field. He had to get that to his tight end quickly, knowing he wasn't going to have a lot of space to run with after the catch.
And the Hawkeyes come to the line with a fresh set of downs. They'll toss it to the left. And that defense is there to guide him out of bounds after a short gain.
This is a hard defense to run to the outside against because of their speed. You saw in that last play, their ability to go sideline to sideline, win at the point of attack as they shut down that sweep play.
Yeah, and it's also hard when you get in the red because what do we do on defense? We bring in all the big bodies, so there's not a lot of space in there to run. I like getting the ball in the perimeter. You toss it out there, you run it back. He gets out there faster. Got a positive gain. Still a couple plays here left, too.
Hey, man, if you're going to force incompletions when the QB's thrown to the tight end, you better be physical. Nice job with the hit, forcing that incompletion.
They couldn't connect on second down, now staring at a 3rd and 9. He wants to throw it. Gets it to him on the screen. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on 3rd down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You've set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
Absolutely perfect. And the first points of the day come on that field goal.
Well, this team knew coming into tonight's game they had to get momentum early, playing at home. They want to get the crowd into it, so you get a beautiful drive here to start this thing. You would have liked to cap it off with a touchdown, but listen, you set yourself up for a field goal, you knock it through the uprights, you've got the lead, everything right now looking good.
From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. A little bit backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. From the shotgun, they'll run it. Good, solid, determined run there. They'll mark him down at the 27.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on 1st down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
Umass comes to the line facing 2nd and short. They'll go right back to the run. Defense fills those gaps. He's got 1 to the 28.
Well, I think the defense is expecting here on 3rd down that this running back's going to get it again. He got it on 1st, had a nice carry, got it on 2nd. Now he set him up in 3rd and short. You've got to be physical here and make sure this guy goes backwards.
Kinnick is having a connection fit to try to help the knee on 3rd down. They'll snap this one from the 30 on 1st and 10. To the ground with the back. Spins away from the defender.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next down.
The Minutemen can explore that playbook on 2nd and short. Now the play fake. Under fire. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32.
This defense, they are tenacious, and they've got guys up front that are athletic and that are so strong that they can collapse the pocket. You saw it right there in that play action.
Chains keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Looking to pass, it's Jordan. And the pressure is coming in, and they get him again. We've reached the end of one, and as is tradition here in Iowa City, we take a moment to say hi to the children of the University of Iowa Stead Family Children's Hospital. Hello, kids. Always a treat to be here at Iowa and take part in a special moment. Hope these kids enjoy the rest of the game as we play on into the 2nd quarter. Umass will line up to punt it away. He'll settle for some pretty good field position and make the fair catch at around the 35. They'll put it in play from the 36 for the first play of the drive. From the gun, the running back has it. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a 1st down. Now, the Hawkeyes have a whole new backfield without Caleb Johnson, who turned in one of the most prolific rushing seasons in Iowa football history. School record 21 touchdowns. He was this offense a year ago, David.
He was, and if you're an Iowa fan, man, Reese, we've been just clamoring for years. Just give me some offense, like some form of a passing attack. Another new system. Tim Lester comes in as the OC. Interested to see if they can air it out. They can be more fun to watch, and they can score more points.
All right, so not a home run play for the offense, but I do like the creativity, and I like how they're going to stress this defense and do it in less conventional ways.
The Hawkeyes in a good spot here with second and short. They'll leave it with him. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
And this is a guy that can find you the hidden yardage. That play, he just pushes the pile to get that first down.
And the Hawkeyes will snap it on 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Going for it all. And that one's incomplete. We're taking a shot there, but couldn't hook up.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
Right back to the air on 2nd and 10. Completes the shuffle pass. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
I know a lot of people are going to look at that play and say, man, that was a bad play. Didn't gain any yards. But that could be the offense maybe setting something up. The play caller is going to remember that last play. He's going to remember how the defense reacted to it, made a quick tackle. They might pump that throw and then hit another player vertically down the field for an explosive play down the line.
He wants to go deep. He's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Iowa. They'll try to add another to their lead. And with the extra point, they're now up by a touchdown and a field goal at 10. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And the final 41 yards covered by that touchdown strike. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. He'll start the return inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. They'll snap this one to start the drive from their own 22. They'll run the RPO and fire to the right. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
I'll tell you, I just don't like throwing wide receiver screens against press man coverage. Receivers are not great blockers, and they just couldn't get it done there, and as a result, the offense actually loses a couple of yards.
What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? To throw, it's Jordan. The safe call on the wide receiver screen. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
Really nice job by the defense, keeping everything in front of you in that situation and rallying to the football. And now you're rewarded with 3rd and long. So we'll see on this next play if they do the same thing here or if they sell out and bring the blitz.
These Hawkeye fans know exactly what to do to get behind this D on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Unloads to the wideout. Got his man all by himself. And he was off to the races, and he gets it to the 45.
I know this isn't the start the offense wanted. They don't have any points so far in this game, but sometimes it just takes one explosive play to turn things around. And after that beautiful completion deep for the offense, that should give them a little confidence, a little momentum. They've now got us to be able to score points on this drive.
Leaves it with the running back. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Yeah, I think the running back kind of went rogue on that last running play. I'm not sure it was designed to go that direction. He tried to make it happen on his own and unfortunately ended up losing yards.
Whistle blows, we are at the 2-minute timeout, and man, oh man, could these guys use a score to cut into this lead. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Back to pass. Setting up the screen. And that defense pushing him out of bounds after a short gain.
Those screen plays, you really want to sell it, get it to your running back, and get him to the second level. Get him running full head of steam on a safety, on a linebacker. He almost got going, but just got tackled before he could really do any damage.
The Minutemen a bit behind the sticks here on 3rd and long. Back to pass, it's Jordan. And this is going to be incomplete on 3rd down.
I'll tell you what, to get home to the quarterback and force pressure while just rushing 3 allows your back end to cover so much space. Now you got 8 guys in coverage. It makes you really dynamic in the back end of your defense.
Umass will line up to punt it away. And that one will bounce and roll out of bounds. Let's see exactly where they mark it. Opening play of this drive comes from the 12-yard line. Handoff to the single back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. They'll go right back to it. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
Yeah, a lot of times you want those big plays. You want those splash plays, but sometimes you're going to take some losses. You're not going to run the football overly well, but if you continue to run it, you can at least create some balance. You at least have the threat of it. Otherwise, you're just going to abandon it, and now it's just going to be a passing game.
He'll pull it down and run. On the move at the 30.
Well, he hasn't called his own number very often in this game. That actually is the first time he's taken off and scrambled, but it was a really good decision. He's been killing this defense through the air. You've seen the arm talent, you've seen the accuracy. That time, really nice decision to tuck it and get what he can get. He's got this defense on their heels.
The Hawkeyes have it with a 1st and 10. Finding open areas. Good job running tough and behind his pads as he gets up to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, this offense is going to try to run the ball and do it in a variety of ways. You'll see zone reads. You'll just see straight downhill running. They'll get the toss play going as well to try to keep this defense on their heels.
And the Hawkeyes with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Timeout called by the offense, and now they just have 1 remaining in the half. Line getting set on 2nd down. They'll switch it up here and look to throw. Oh, he makes the play. It's intercepted. And they come up with a big play to make sure no more points go on the board before the end of the half.
Nice play by the DB. Most people say offenses have the advantage, right? They know where they're going. They have the footing underneath them. Defensive guys, you still got to guess. You might be a little bit more cautious. No, sir, this defensive back does a great job breaking on the football, going up and making the INT.
Inside 30 seconds to play in the half. We'll see how aggressive they are on this drive. Looking to throw, it's Jordan. Bringing the heat. That's caught. It's Griffin. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short game there. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Just enough time to get off one final play of the half. second down, they'll go to the air. Here's the pressure. Got to protect the merchandise. Gets down without taking a hit. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Kennick is having a conniption fit to try to help the D on third down. Looking to throw. He'll loft one deep down the left side. It's incomplete, and they tried to finish this quarter with a bang and couldn't quite connect. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Man, if nothing else, a notable first half so far in Iowa City. And how do we possibly begin without singing the praises of this receiver? His ability to find gaps, run textbook routes, and then show that breakaway speed. He simply is the total package. How this secondary responds, whether they try to double team him or get aggressive at the line, that'll be the story of this second half. And with that, let's send it back to Duke Slater Field at Kinnick Stadium.
Second half just about to get started, and Umass will kick it off. From inside the 10, here he comes. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. This drive opens up at the 23-yard line. He'll keep it himself. He showed off a few moves, but not enough to get away from all of those defenders as they stop him for a loss.
Well, one of the reasons this offense likes the option game with the quarterback is to use his speed and try to attack the perimeter of the field. The defense, though, not having any of it. You saw the contain on the play, forcing him back in the middle of the field, and they're able to corral him for a huge loss.
Fires to the wideout. Got him downfield. They finally get to him. But what a play there to pick up the first down.
The defense has got to be able to make a play at some point here in the second half. You're down 2 possessions. You need to steal a possession badly. You need to have a takeaway. The coverage is going to have to be way tighter than on that last throw. Otherwise, this offense is just going to go up and down the field.
The offense setting up shop at the 46, 1st and 10. He'll do it himself on the draw. Got enough for the first. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
This is going to be a big key for him, David, with the lead here in the second half, running the football, right? Staying on the field and bleeding the clock.
And run the football, you're ahead, you can be a little bit more conservative. But again, this opens up the pass. This keeps everything in balance for this offense.
They're going to go right back to him on first down. Slicing and dicing through this defense, and they've got it down to the 23.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
The give to the tailback. Sweet cut there. He is pushed out of bounds at the 19-yard line. Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. Looking for a crease. It's Moulton. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
You know, you're in the red zone. You bring out a bunch of tight ends on the field. So the defense, they were expecting run on that one. They were physical, and they were able to force the negative play.
Just outside the red zone at the 21, but it's 3rd and long. Wants to go up top. Chucked it away just as he was hit.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long, different ways to affect him, weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy, and that's why the ball falls incomplete.
And here comes the field goal unit for the 2nd time tonight. He's already put 3 on the board earlier, this time a 38-yard try. Nestled just inside that right upright. And that lead grows even bigger.
And listen, y'all know in the booth and everywhere how I feel about kickers. Don't always love leaving it on their foot, so to speak, but nice job executing. He keeps doing stuff like that. I'll keep trotting him out there.
So after the last drive ended with a field goal, the kickoff team out there to send it away. Here's the return from inside his 10. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. And he dropped it. It looked for all the world like that would be a catch, and he just got too excited.
And in this weather, man, you start to see more of this. You try to throw the ball harder to penetrate it through the weather and get it to your target, but just catching a football that's a little bit slippery sometimes, you'll see some of those drops, and it's just part of the game.
Still at their own 20 after that last incompletion. It's 2nd and 10. Pressure coming. And he avoids the hit and slides after the short gain.
Well, you're making a positive out of a negative. And that time, quarterback, nice job buying time. He's trying to throw the football downfield. Nothing there, so instead of throwing it away and getting the incomplete, just get what you can get and make this next down more manageable.
These Hawkeye fans know exactly what to do to get behind this D on 3rd down. Dropping back, it's Jordan. He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
This quarterback has been struggling to find a rhythm in this game so far. Didn't have a ton of success in the first half, so here he is trying to ignite the offense with a deep shot, but they're not able to come away with the completion.
Umass will line up to punt it away. 4th time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. Fair catch is called for in the midst of all this rain. Just concentrate on one thing, making the catch. They'll go to the ground. Turning it on. They're ripping off chunks of yardage. They get it to the 33. What perfect execution on that big run. Everything perfectly blocked, and this guy doesn't need a lot of room.
I love how this offensive line communicates and works up front. You see guys winning their one-on-one battles. There's double teams happening. Guys are getting into the second level and creating big lanes for this running back.
Wide receiver going in motion. Right back to the well. And he runs into a wall. Maybe got it back to the line of scrimmage.
Maybe that stop shows this defense is tightening up, especially in the run game. The offense, frankly, they've been able to do whatever they want to do. They're just handing the ball off. This guy's having success left and right. No, sir, no mas, get it together.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. They'll run it from the gun. Got the first down. Looking for more. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
And I tell you what, we can focus on the left side of the line of scrimmage because that's where the play starts. But you don't get big gains when you run out wide unless wide receivers, yes, wide receivers, commit to blocking, staying on their guys. Really good job on the outside by giving the running back space to make the big play.
The Hawkeyes trying to cash it in on 1st and goal. Firing to the right, complete. And he's gonna take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Hawkeye!
And it's a really nice play call that time by the offensive coordinator because you just had an explosive run getting you down close to the goal line. I think everybody on defense was expecting them to just turn around and hand it off again. Not the case. Now you go pass. Really nice catching the defense off guard, and they get the touchdown. Bang, bang, 2 plays, 6 points on the board.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And he did make that extra point, no issue with the treacherous footing. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they finish it off with a short plunge into the end zone. Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. They'll get things started on this drive from the 24. Dropping back, it's Jordan. Quickly complete. And they picked up 9 on first down. It'll bring up second and short.
I love offenses and quarterbacks that are willing to take the easy stuff. Take those easy throws that are guaranteed to get positive yards. Yeah, I'm going to take big shots down the field too. But don't forget, it's easier to pick up 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5 than it is when we start getting those long yardage situations.
Trying the left side. He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot it at the 37.
You got to have short area quickness. That running back there doing what it takes to make sure he got that first down.
As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Wants to go up top on first down. Makes the grab. It's Gibson. Breaks into the open. And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, Umass.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, he hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback and wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the 4th. Stadium buzzing, kickoff team on the field, and we are ready to get this thing started. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. They'll put this one in play first snap of the drive from the 25. They run the reverse. He's knocked down for a loss of 7.
Nice job by this defense staying home, not getting fooled. When the ball goes away from me, I don't just chase blindly across the field. They see the reverse, and I love the speed, the close, and the tackle. They get a tackle for a loss on that gadget-type play.
And the Hawkeyes with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Out across the 20 to the 21-yard line, a 3-yard gain.
And I know you can play these late-game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
The Hawkeyes need their binoculars to find that line to gain here on 3rd down. Working the middle of the field, and it's complete. He gets it out to the 28-yard line, not enough to pick up the first down.
You know, I got to tell you, as an offense, moving forward in this game, 3rd and long, you're going to have to push the ball downfield a little bit more. You got to throw to the sticks and give yourself a chance to convert these 3rd downs.
And the Hawkeyes will send out the punt unit. They'll have to boot it away for the first time tonight. Not going to risk a return here. Calls for the fair catch and makes it just around the 30-yard line. First snap of this drive comes from the 32. The inside handoff. And he is just engulfed at the line by this giant defensive tackle.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it, but the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front 7 has dominated this entire game. You got to give this defense credit because they have bottled this guy up all game long. He's one of the best running backs in all of college football. Everybody was expecting him to have a big one today. Until that to this defense, though. They've played with great effort. They've gotten hats to the football, and they have been able to shut him down.
Looking deep down the right side. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. Well, the defense didn't get caught napping there. In this situation, you know they have to stay alert for the deep ball.
Yeah, so what defense am I going to call? I'm going to keep some DBs back deep. I'm going to keep my safety a little bit deeper, understanding they're down. They're going to have to attack down the field. I'm going to stick to my passing sets, my nickels, my dimes.
Oh, he dropped it. Just didn't look it all the way in, and they'll turn it over on downs. And that decision will be questioned for a while. He wants to start this drive with a pass. Just gets rid of it before the heat. Didn't have much of a choice there, but to get rid of it.
And that pressure got to him quick. I mean, you talk about you want your quarterback to feel comfortable. Man, he didn't have time to feel comfortable. He didn't have time to get his feet set and get in the ground. This offensive line's got to do a better job.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. They'll throw again after the incompletion. Makes the grab. It's Anderson. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
And a really nice job by the wide receiver. You run a drag route, find space. They're in zone coverage. They're not covering man-to-man. Find a little hole. Look at that QB. Y'all get on the same page. You could tell they were, and that's why they got the first down.
They're within field goal range at the 29. Let's see if they can pick up a few or the first down on 3rd and long. Throws toward the end zone. This will be picked off. Maybe just the turning point they needed. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football.
You know, could that be the play that changes the momentum now in this game? Remember, they're down, and it seems like the opponent's got this game in hand, but because of that interception, could that be the play now that generates the momentum to give them a spark to maybe come back and steal this game?
A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. To the air, it's Jordan. Pocket breaking down. Not able to hook up there, incomplete.
Well, the offensive line has got to give him at least a little bit of time to survey the field. He had no chance that time, getting hit almost immediately after he got the ball.
After that last incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from their own 20. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. He's going to run it. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
It's just so nice to have a QB under center. Nowadays in football, you can trust these guys. You put so much on their plate, and you tell them, go get positive yards when it's there. And a lot of these guys are such great athletes, they do it with ease.
Kinnick is having a connection fit to try to help the D on 3rd down. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
I want to give a shout out to the defense there on 3rd down, doing a really nice job disguising their coverage because it looked like they confused the quarterback on 3rd down. Really nice job getting back into that zone and making sure that ball falls incomplete.
Down in the 4th quarter, it's too late for empty possessions. They'll go for it on 4th down. Throws to the wideout. The 2-minute timeout arrives, and we have certainly seen miracles in college football, and they will certainly need one here. Couldn't ask for better starting field position for this offense. They'll run it, trying to drain time off the clock. They stop him just short of the first down, but it will be 2nd and inches coming up. Quick timeout call by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. Power football with the run. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. And if they can find the end zone here, that might be all she wrote. 1st and goal. Quarterback on the keeper. And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. And after the really good gain on 1st down, they'll try to finish it off on 2nd and goal. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Iowa! These guys looking to put the finishing touches on this game with that score.
think you feel confident that ends it, right? Late in the game, it would take a miracle for the defense to get back in it. That miracle is no longer coming now.
Unit on the field. And the extra point right down the boulevard is there now, up 20 in the fourth. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And it was closed out by the short yardage touchdown. They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Looking for a man, it's Jordan. Shoots it to the left. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
Got to give this defense credit, guys, because all game long they have forced their opponent to be one-dimensional. They haven't allowed anything to happen in the passing game. As a result, we're here in the fourth quarter. They barely allowed over 100 yards passing.
So now it's second and long. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. Going to try to pop one on the screen. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never developed.
Well, and here's the problem offensively. Because you're trailing by so much so late in the game, the defense now is going to be playing big zone coverages, and they're going to allow you to throw the ball underneath in the middle of the field, rally to make a tackle, and bleed the clock. It's going to be hard now for this offense to claw their way back in this one.
Under fire. And here comes the heat, and they get home, and they get him at the 21.
Sometimes you beat your guy and you get sacked so clean, and sometimes, like on this play, the DBs do a great job covering, make the QB hold the football, and then the rush gets home.
That earlier sack really set them back, but they'll still go for it here. On fourth down, looking for the completion. And it's swatted away. It's a turnover on downs. Running out the clock, a mere formality between them and a victory as we have victory formation coming. And they'll take a knee and watch this clock keep on winding its way toward a victory.